Welcome in to our party. It is Jim Dempsey, which means, of course, hi diddly hey, neighborino. And I'm bringing with me a bevy of guests, a veritable gaggle of gossip girls to discuss today. Because, well, number one, let's start with our good friend and president and fascist dictator Donald Trump. Trumpster did once say in a book called The Art of the Deal that you should always take credit for your accomplishments. How do I know that? I was just in a bookstore one day and I saw this book and I'm like, oh God, it's that book Donald Trump wrote. Let's take a humorous giggle at that, right? And I pulled it off the shelf and I flipped it open. Chapter 5 was like literally titled that. That book, bro, like, I was like, he didn't write this book. He dictated that book because it's in his idiosyncratic voice and it's very memorable for that reason. And I remember to this day just a little bit that I read, which was the opening of chapter 5. Always take credit for your accomplishments. So that's what I'm doing. I am Jim Dempsey, and you know what I did? I gave this kid the hookup. A young Deven, Mortal Throne of Deven. I saw his video about, what are all these crazy bitches doing listening to death metal? And I saw the reaction video that came through with the young Chambergraves where she said, what the fuck is this guy up on about, right? And I said, these two up-and-coming YouTubers, this is a lover's quarrel, right? That is exactly where this is going. So let me inspire the world. Let me put the idea out there in ether. Because that's how ideas work. I just said it. And I manifested it, right? Enter Kill the Posers podcast. But before he does, you're a month late, pal. I did this shit in February, right? I saw those two and immediately I jumped right up into here. I said, Phil, we got to make this video. And I didn't script it out, right? None of this is scripted. I'm just improvising off the top of my head here. I'm just free associating largely. But we knew at the time, too. I said, so here's the deal, all right? So I saw this kid and Julie saw this girl and she's like, talk about this, right? And I just compared the two and I was like, wait, if the girl's talking about the guy, that means one thing, because the girl is like, she's got an audience, right? I was like, she just gave him some free promotion. I don't know if she meant to, but she was like, I'm going to get some game off this kid. So she's making a video off him. She's giving him the boost. And I'm like, he's going to respond to that. Like, that's going to be a thing he has to address because you just, you noticed him. You're like a way bigger presence that just blessed him with this privilege, right? And, so he is obliged to follow up with that. And I was like, these two are going to go on a date, right? Let's make that our hook. Let's lovers quarrel them, right? And I thought it was going to take me about 30 minutes to get from here to there, but I'd managed to pull it out in 15 minutes. I'm a little pleased with that episode. That one was one that I was like, I think that one worked out really well. I managed to tuck it in pretty quickly and just, I got to where I needed to go, which was those two are they're going to, all right? Because that's what I do. I put the idea out there. And that's how ideas work. I manifested it first. Taking credit for it. Did anyone see it? No. But the idea was out there because I said it. Because there is a magic in a spoken word. There's a magic in the written word. And they're two separate magics. Written word is telepathy. When someone writes something, you're not there when you read it. It's coming to you across time and space. It's someone's thoughts and expression, across distance. So yeah, it's a form of telepathy. Spoken word is similar. The reason why you go into a church and you recite a creed, the reason why your kids say the Pledge of Allegiance, assuming they do, the reason why there's that whole thing about the oath of, office and the oath you take in a courtroom and all that shit. The reason for spoken oaths is because when you say something out loud, you then believe it more than you would have previous to saying it out loud. The action of saying it out loud reinforces it for you. It is a magic of a sort. You're saying these words, and therefore you believe them. So my big thing, I'd be like, someone says, that guy's a liar. He says this and that, and he knows he's wrong. I'd be like, A, we're assuming he knows that, which we're assuming that. But B, if he didn't believe it before he said it, he believes it now because he said it, right? Belief follows behavior. You don't do this stuff because you believe these things. You believe these things as a consequence of your actions. Because actions form the character, right? This is the nature of reality kind of shit that I'm really more interested in than I am in like all these fucking new garbage ass metal records. But you need an audience, right? You gotta talk to who you gotta talk to. And if I get on YouTube and be like, so, I'm Jim Dempsey. Let's talk about the nature of reality. The people that are going to be interested in that for the sake of that are going to be like, look at this rube. I ain't taking this guy seriously. So I'm going out to the masses. I'm like Donald Trump or like St. Francis. Here's another piece of education you're going to get from Jim Dempsey. A man who should take you to trivia night, right? St. Francis did not go out in the forest and preach to the birds, the little robins and shit. He went out to the graveyards and preached to the corpses. Because that was the deal, right? Like, they wouldn't listen to him in the church, so he's like, well, fuck you, I'll go out to the graveyard. So he was preaching to the corpses, and therefore he was preaching to the carrion birds, the raptors, and the flesh-eating birds, the vultures. And that got transferred. St. Francis preaching to vultures, feasting on human flesh, got pretty quickly transmogrified into St. Francis in the forest, preaching to, robins on his shoulders and shit. And that's the hook. That's why you remember him. That's his Donald Trump moment. But that's what it's about, right? They didn't take him seriously, so he went out there and, yeah. Well, Donald Trump's not taken seriously. And I'm not saying it, without reason. But that's his thing. Because he doesn't go to people that take shit seriously. He goes to, well-done steak with ketchup people. And he's like, yeah, well, here's what they're saying up there. But I'm going to say it in your terms. And I'm like, I'd like to be able to do that, frankly. That's a really good skill to have. Because I have thoughts that are like that too. I got upstairs thoughts, but they don't take me seriously upstairs. So I'm down here with the rest of you, and I'd be like, yo, amongst the other things that everyone's talking about metal, well, no one talks about metal all the time. Like, everyone's got other interests, right? So let's talk about some of that in the context of talking about metal. That's what I'm doing here, right? In addition to getting the guy the action, huh? Now, here's a couple things that I want to see going forward from this, right? So, pro tips. I listened to episode 1. I'll be like, Deven talks to Killed Posers, and I'm like, it's almost a little painful. Yo, I know you're kids, but this is like live radio, bro. You're inviting people into your conversation. You kind of gotta get to what you're getting to, right? But I'm gonna listen to episode 2, and in Kill the Posers podcast, I don't think I'm gonna listen to a lot more of that, and I don't think you will either. I don't think the kid's going to be doing it in just a few years. That guy's on his way out. He's already saying it. I'm like, good for you. I don't think you're a poser. You're one of the people that's going to grow out of it, which a lot of people do. We're not all lifers. But that guy's going to go on to be successful. He's going to be taken seriously by people. He's going to be like, yeah, when I was young, I had a podcast called Kill the Posers. But he's going to be self-conscious about it because he's going to be wealthy and successful, and people will take him seriously. And in the meantime, you and me and Donald Trump will all be down here like, yeah, they don't take us seriously up there, but good for them. It doesn't mean he's a poser. It just means, he's a young man doing his thing. And in the meantime, he's manifesting my ideas for the world. He's getting Deven's dick wet. Good for you, kid. But yeah, he's on his way out. That guy, I'm just saying, nothing against him. That's what's going to be like in just a couple of years. You watch and see if I'm not wrong on that, because what am I doing here? I'm giving you the future. Mostly I'm giving you the present, just reading it and being like, yo, if you're actually looking, these things are going to be obvious. But you can suss out a bit of the future just from these present trends, and I'm here to do a little bit of that for you. Make your life better. This is not legal advice. These are not stock tips. But you will see in time, if you are following along, that a lot of what I say just kind of ends up happening, right? Because it's just obvious shit. I just looked at those two making videos, and I'm like, they're going to cross paths. So here's what I want to hear about. I don't want to hear about it, actually. I don't want to hear the details. But I want to, I'm going to hope that you follow through on this, because this is good, free game that I'm giving you guys here, right? So, young lady, when you give him the blessing and privilege of, allowing him to bring you in for a bounce in the bed, he's going to be very overwhelmed. Let us not mince words. You're not an unattractive young woman, and you can leave the makeup on. He'll enjoy that, and he's going to get caught up in the moment. It happens to guys, it's hottie babes. So he's going to And before he says something stupid like "I love you," just preempt him. Just, you got your legs up on his shoulders. Just go ahead and shove your foot right up in his mouth. Let him nibble on the toes, because that'll pipe him down. And from what I've seen, you'll enjoy that. I can't give out all the game for free. Like, you got to subscribe to the paid channel if you guys really want to know how to get her pulling the pillow over her face, how to get the furrows running down your back. But I'll give you this free one. This is a gimme. This should be obvious. So this is more reinforcing something you've heard and need to hear again. This is me strengthening the manifest of the idea already in the ether. If you are a man and you don't enjoy, putting your face right between there and, giving her the old tongue bath, well, that's unfortunate for you. But you got to get over that, and you got to just learn to appreciate it, or at least you just got to step up and do it. Because she gave you a blessing and a privilege. She brought you into her bed. It's not about you at that point, because you can do it on your own in a moment in the laundry room, right? Like, she's giving you something, so you've got to repay that. You've got to give her the gift. You've got to make it about her, because it is all about her. How do I know? How do you think an ugly-ass, broke-ass motherfucker like Jim Dempsey gets 5 kids across 2 different babes? It's about her. It's all about her, and it has to be about her, right? Because it only takes a moment to be about you. Your moment comes later, right? Like, put in the work. Make sure that she knows that it's about her in that moment. Make sure she knows she's the only woman in the world, right? Like, that's your tip. That's me just reinforcing, and whatever you got to do. But a good way to do that, just do it. You don't like it? You're a fucking man, right? Like, step up. Come on. I'm just saying. Women, any woman out there that wants to chime in, like, if I'm wrong, then, but if you don't enjoy that, then, so, like, that's another pro tip. Like, when you're, before he says something stupid, like, just shut him up. Just shove right in his mouth. And, like, free game, okay? Now, let's bring this around to the death metal pug. The last entrant to our soiree here. So, I got a comment from this guy, and I appreciate that. I'd be like, okay, so I only just turned on the notification. So now, like, I'll actually see going forward that you commented on something before maybe a couple days elapsed, and I'll interact, right? And I will do so until they, God willing, become insurmountable in volume. But in the meantime, you drop a comment on one of my videos, I might even make a video about you. So this death metal pug guy, he says, about this short that I made, it's good, but it doesn't really stick, And I said, I do, because I think that's exactly what I said about it. You remember the fucking band. I'm like, I think I said about this one, it wasn't bad, but I won't remember it. I think I said exactly that. But he said, what's your deal? Where are you located? And I'm like, well, that's a curious question. That's a really interesting question. So I did a little research. I'm like, well, let's take a look at this death metal pug guy. And I was like, I see why you're asking where I'm looking, huh? You fucking freak. I'm in Eastern Washington. Kind of rural, but we can meet in Spokane. Buy me a couple of stiff cosmopolitans, and you know what? Here's the deal: is you just got to pipe Jim down, right? Like, you just got to surprise him with what he finds getting shoved in his mouth, and that's how. Jim nibbles on the toes. Maybe other things. If you can get past the gateway, Mr. Death Metal Pugster, because I do appreciate. I'm very flattered that you noticed. Maybe I'm not so ugly after all, huh? But the wife, she's a stern one. So here's the deal. Actually, here's what we'll do is let's get Kill the Posers podcast in here. Deven's going to be busy, with trying to get his game on with young Miss Graves. But what we'll do is we'll get young Levi in here, and young Levi from the Kill the Posers can he's not listening to too much more death metal for much longer, right? So he can. So Levi, what I'm gonna have you do is you go ahead and just give Mrs. Dempsey's toes a nibble, and In the meantime, me and the pugster here are gonna, we'll be in the bathroom, and fun times. And yeah, you gotta subscribe to the paid YouTube channel for that one. This is OnlyFans kind of shit. But I'm just saying, bro. Like we can do this. Everyone's gonna be happy here. We got like a 6-man thing going here, right? Like we got Mrs. Graves and Mrs. Dempsey and Mrs. Pug and actually I think it's gonna be two Mrs. Dempseys in that one. It's gonna be Mr. Pug and Mrs. Dempsey for that one. But yeah, we'll have one going in the living room. We'll have one going up in my bed, and I'll have one going up in the bathroom with the DM Pugster. And what a party! Aren't you glad you came for this? Holy shit! So where are we at here, anyways? We were talking about just manifesting the ideas, right? Because that's what I do. I just talk about reality. I don't do small talk. I suck at small talk. Like, it's a real limitation for me because, you get clients and customers and you're supposed to be like, so, how about that professional sports team that we both root for, huh? They should fire or rehire that manager. He's a character. And I'm just like, oh, welcome in. My name's Jim. So what do you think about that Mango Mussolini versus that the senile sleepster with the dentures, huh? Like, hey, I'm about to write your will, right? What do you think's gonna happen when we die? Like, what's your opinion on that? That's what I'm interested in, right? But you gotta small talk that shit. It's called phatic speech. Literally, that's what it is. If I come on here and I'm like, let me share with you deep thoughts about the nature of reality. Well, let me share one with you. What is real? Reality is not the future. The future's not here. Reality is not the past. You can't bring me the past on a plate. Reality is not even, in fact, the distant or remoteness. Because what is that to you? I hear there's a city called New York. I assume that, in fact, it's not just a put on and that the whole world is not lying to my face about it. That there really is, in fact, a city called New York. But I ain't never been to New York, right? Like, for all I know, it's not real. What's real to me is all up in Washington State where I'm at. What is real is the present, which is the only term in, past, present, future, that also connotes spatiality. We are present here. We are present now. We are present in the present, right? Reality is here and now, whatever it is for you. That is your reality. Reality is what you think and feel. Because whatever you think and feel about something, right? Everyone can think you're crazy, but it's reality to you, correct? So reality is our individual experience of reality in the moment that we experience it, and then we die, at which point we become subject to the greater reality. But what did I just do? I just gave you the philosophical backing for the statement, only death is real. It is, a clever catchphrase, but it's also actually a fundamentally philosophical take. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm pointing that kind of shit out by just saying shit. And you gotta say some shit to make yourself memorable, to let people know who you are. You gotta Donald Trump it. You gotta be a bit memorable. You gotta have some personality. You gotta have an idiosyncratic voice so that people know you're not just AI slop. Because that's another thing I'm doing here. I'm just looking at a camera and being like, yo, this ain't no AI slop. This ain't even no edited video bullshit. This is just a guy giving you some ideas, some thoughts, some conversation. And God willing, some of it's entertaining. And God willing, even further, maybe some of it's actually edifying, right? Like, maybe you got something out of this. Maybe you just realized in the course of these last 20 minutes, holy shit, Jim Dempsey has something relevant and profound to say about the nature of reality, possibly very tangential to our current prevailing times with this AI bullshit. And also Jim Dempsey knows how to, that's the thing. You got to nibble on the toes. You got to, put your face between there, right? Like, you got to make it about her. That's, these are tips. This is things you've probably heard, but, you should know this. You should hear this over and over again. You're a young man. You're any man, trying to get in the game. That's a big part of it. And she's got to, feel like she's got to feel like she's going to get that experience before she's going to open the gates too, right? Because it is a blessing and a privilege. So you got to earn your way in there. And if you don't, then that's a red flag, and you probably should not be doing it, because you can on your own in the laundry room in just a second, right? Don't get yourself in trouble, bro. That's something I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to give good advice. talk some shit, yes, but, by way of giving good word. Because that's my deal. So yeah, that's your answer there, Mr. Pugster. Your answer is I'm a guy that's talking some shit, hopefully saying some good stuff amongst it, and yeah, we can get back to the party now. I'll see what good use you can put this flapping mouth of mine to, huh? And yeah, so, Jim Dempsey, young Levi, Kill the Posers, the Death Metal Pug, young Deven, and the comely young Mrs. Graves, all bidding you a good day and dipping.